It's my first Mother's Day, and it's even more special because my mom is here visiting. She's out at the nursery getting some plants that we're gonna pot later, and while she's out, I'm gonna make her all-time favorite dessert, which is chocolate banana cream pie. It's kind of a retro dessert that you don't see that often, but she grew up eating it, and then in turn I grew up eating it, so it has a very special place in my heart. We're gonna start with a homemade pie crust, followed by some chocolate pudding, layered with bananas, and we're gonna top it all with whipped cream. Let's get into it. First thing we're gonna do is get our pie crust started. If you haven't made homemade pie crust before, I'm gonna show you a really easy way to make it. I'm gonna start with some all-purpose flour. We've got my scale. Pour in flour until I have 1 1/3 cups, which is gonna be about 170 grams. There we go. So I'm gonna add this to my food processor. And then we're gonna do a little bit of granulated sugar. This pie crust is not gonna be sweet, but the sugar and the salt just help keep everything in balance. So just a tablespoon of sugar and half a teaspoon of kosher salt. Right in. I'll just put the lid on and we'll give this a pulse just to get everything combined. Perfect. Now I've got 10 tablespoons, which is a stick plus 2 tablespoons of cold diced butter. What I'll typically do is dice the butter and stick it in the freezer while I get everything else organized. That way I know it's staying nice and cold. The key to a deliciously flaky pie crust is that the butter stays in little bits and pieces in the crust. You start with cold butter. As you're working the pie crust, it doesn't get overly mixed in and you end up with these nice little pockets of butter. I'm gonna process this until the butter is about the size of a blueberry, which is larger than a pea, which is what you often hear. I think you can always work the dough more, but you can't unwork it. So I like to start with the butter in bigger pieces and we can go from there. So I'll just pulse a few times and then I'll show you what we're looking for. Blueberries are all different sizes, but like an average blueberry. Okay. Perfect. So if you can see, blueberry. We're almost done. Back here I've got a cup with some ice water. We're using ice water because again, I want to keep the ingredients as cold as possible while we're making the crust. With the machine running, I'm going to pour in the ice water in a slow, steady stream, and I'm going to mix until it's just forming clumps. I'll show you what that looks like. Once all the water's in, you can kind of pause and pulse and keep going a little bit at a time. We want to process the dough until it forms small to medium-sized crumbles, but not until it forms like one big mass. Yeah, I think that's good. You can see if I squeeze the dough together, it'll hold together really nicely, but it doesn't feel too wet. That's it for the pie crust. We're just gonna dump the dough out onto a piece of plastic wrap and we'll chill it for about an hour or so just to let it firm up a bit. I have to show you my plastic wrap. It's jumbo plastic wrap. I've had this for like 3 years. It seems crazy and it is crazy, but if you have a place to store this, you don't have to think about buying plastic wrap for basically the rest of your life. Okay. Thank you for your service. Right. So I'll just dump it right out and then scrape any little bits that are stuck to the top. Without overworking this, I'm just gonna kind of form it into a round shape. You can actually use the plastic wrap too to help if you just pull it over. It's a fun little trick. But basically, just want to form it into sort of like a round hockey puck shape. Perfect. Wrap this up into the fridge. That was a quick hour. Let's get the pie dough. So we're gonna flour our surface and our rolling pin. And just dump our pie dough right on to the marble. So with pie crust, you always want to keep it moving because it's going to want to stick. So as we're going, Keep it moving, keep my hands moving, keep everything floured. And I'm just gonna roll this out until it's about a 1/4 inch thick. I find it's really hard to get pie crust to be a perfect circle, but don't worry too much because we're gonna lay it in our pie dish and then we'll trim the edges. Get in there. If you're worried about how big the dough is, you can always hold your pie plate up and kind of eyeball it and see. Looks good. We're gonna bend it a little bit, so you want the dough to be a little bit bigger than the diameter of your pie plate. Circumference, diameter, diameter, circumference, diameter. A little bit bigger than the pie plate. You can also test it by just setting the dough directly in. Is it circumference or diameter? Now I'm really upset that I don't know this. It's diameter. Okay, we're gonna grab some scissors and trim any serious overlap. Just like that. Don't worry if it doesn't look, you know, perfectly rounded at the edges because we're gonna crimp the pie and then it will look beautiful. Okay. There are a lot of different ways you can crimp a pie. You can use a fork to make nice little straight lines. There are some different folding techniques. I'm gonna show you what I think is the most beautiful and the easiest way to crimp a pie. So I'm gonna take my index finger and then I'm gonna take my thumb and my index finger from my other hand and I'm gonna press them against each other to kind of form a scallop. And then we're just gonna keep doing this all the way around. And we'll just rotate. Put your finger in the last indentation you made and we'll just keep going around and around. If you have areas like this where it is overlapping, you can kind of fold it under. This is the artistic portion of the pie. There we go, and this little guy, fix him. And there you have a cute little crimped pie. So this needs to chill again. This final chill is just gonna help our pie keep its beautiful crimped edges as it bakes. So I'll pop this back into the fridge for just a half an hour, and in the meantime, I'll get my oven preheating, and then we'll be ready to bake. Okay, I'm gonna use my brand new Super Speed Mom Powers to get cleaned up and get everything I need to make the filling. Okay, we're ready. Let's grab our pie crust. There she is. So if I were to put this pie crust into the oven as it is, there's a pretty good chance it would puff up as it baked, and we want it to stay nice and flat for our filling. So we're gonna use a piece of parchment paper. Whoop. I'm gonna crinkle it up. That's gonna make it a little more pliable. Put it right into our crust. And I'm gonna fill it with beans. You can also use pie weights if you have them. So just spread them out so they kind of get into all the nooks and crannies. And we're gonna bake this for 15 minutes. We'll take the beans out and we'll bake it until it's cooked through and crispy and golden. After the first 15 minutes, take the pie out of the oven. And then I'm gonna carefully just lift the parchment and the beans and we'll put them in this bowl. Prick all over with a fork, and that's just gonna stop the crust from rising up as it bakes for the second time. So this will go back in for 15 or so minutes until the center of the pie looks set and is starting to brown. After the second 15 minutes, take your pie crust out and let it cool completely. It's time to make the pudding. This is the fun part, and it happens pretty quick. Just got my burner. There are lots of different kinds of chocolate puddings. Some use egg yolks to thicken the pudding. This one, we're gonna use cornstarch. We want the pudding to be nice and thick so that when we go to slice the pie, it stays together in really nice slices. So we're gonna start by putting our dry ingredients into the pot. The first one is cornstarch. We're gonna use a 1/4 cup. Perfect. And then cocoa powder. Shout out to Hershey, Pennsylvania. Perfect. Then, gotta have sugar if it's chocolate pudding. 1/3 cup granulated sugar. Right in. And finally, we'll do a 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. Final dry ingredient, instant espresso powder. This is optional. If you don't have it and you don't feel like getting a whole jar for a 1/4 teaspoon, you don't need to, but it adds a really nice depth to the chocolate flavor, having just that hint of coffee. Right in. Give this a whisk and get everything nicely mixed together. So while I'm whisking, I'm gonna gradually pour in the milk, and that's just gonna help start dissolving the sugar and getting everything blended. But don't worry, it'll still kind of look like almost like hot chocolate mix at this point is essentially what it is. Once we've got the milk mixed in, go ahead and turn the heat on. We're gonna like medium heat. And I'm gonna gradually bring this to a boil, whisking every now and then just to help everything get dissolved. While this is coming to a boil, we're gonna get our chocolate ready. We're gonna do 4 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. We don't even need to chop this chocolate up. We're just gonna break it into like pieces, you know, this big, and it will melt in beautifully to the pudding. So you'll see in a second, some bubbles are gonna start to form. And as soon as they start, we're gonna start a timer for 1 minute. We just wanna cook this enough to kind of activate the cornstarch, and then the pudding will continue to thicken as it cools. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off the heat. Put this here. So now we'll add our broken up pieces of chocolate. This is the fun part. It's gonna thicken it. You'll see it melts really quickly. So give that a whisk just so the chocolate starts melting. And then the final ingredient is some vanilla extract. We're gonna do 1 teaspoon. I wish you could smell it. It's like chocolate heaven. It smells so good. Looking good. All that's left to do is assemble our pie. So I'm gonna grab our cooled pie crust. And then I'm gonna pour about half the pudding into the crust. Totally fine to eyeball it. Perfect. Whoop. And I'll just spread that out into 1 layer. It's taking everything in me not to just like finish the rest of this pudding. So now I'm gonna take the bananas that we sliced and just arrange them in 1 layer. It's okay if they're a little bit overlapping, but we'll just arrange them to cover the pudding completely.
Something smells good.
Hi.
Hi.
Those are beautiful.
Aren't they pretty?
Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
You want to try a little pudding?
I'd love to.
Okay, it's a little hot.
Okay. I think we should eat some now.
Mom, we have to finish the pie.
Okay.
Okay, if you go get set up outside, I'm almost done. I'll get this in the fridge and I'll come meet you.
Great. See you soon.
Whenever my mom comes to visit, we always do little projects around the house in the garden. She just doesn't like to sit still, but it's great because she gets me to do all these things that I want to do. She's like, we're doing it today. We're gonna get it done. We're not doing it next weekend. Righty. And then I'm just gonna pour the rest of the pudding right on top. So I'll just spread this to cover the bananas. That's gonna help stop them from browning as this chills. It's okay if they're peeking out just a little bit. I think that's kind of nice because then you can see that it's banana. Very last thing, we gotta get my very special plastic wrap one more time. Here's the thing about pudding skin. Some people don't mind it, some people don't like it. Basically, when pudding is sitting, the very top exposed layer kind of firms up and becomes a different texture than the pudding underneath. And if you press a little piece of plastic wrap, that will just prevent that from happening. Okay, this little cutie. So I'm gonna pop this in the fridge and then we're gonna do a little potting, get our hands dirty, come back here for a much earned reward. Wow, look at this spread.
I know. Well, I was cleaning out the potting shed at home. And
Again?
Well, it's an ongoing thing. But I found lots of stuff I thought you could use or that you might enjoy. And this is one of my favorites. It's hard to part with it.
Thank you,
But
Mom.
it has a certain charm. You know,
Thank you.
Good luck, frog.
It's nice.
And then I got all this stuff at the nursery today.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, I'm kind of like a lazy gardener. And there's like little, I just love the shortcuts. So, okay, these are left over from Trader Joe's. And
Okay.
these little violas, I mean, look, we just stick them, just rip it in half there, those.
But should I use scissors? I feel like I'm going to rip
here's
the...
scissors. And we can like mix and match these things. Maybe these will cut. Here.
These are pansies?
These are violas.
Violas.
There. And you have like an instant, you know, it looks gorgeous.
Wow.
Nothing lasts forever, especially these kinds of flowers.
You want to do every other? Want to do every other?
Yeah. There's nothing worse than like having to make a lifetime commitment to flowers.
There you go. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Now,
Done.
where would you put this?
I put it on the table, like a little
Should we put
centerpiece.
it behind you?
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah, they're great. I just stick these in here.
Wow.
Could not be
I like
easier.
this, the birch.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah, really pretty.
And look. And then we take this moss. But look at that color.
Listen.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Beautiful. I think it's real.
It smells
I
funny.
think it's alive.
You just kind of like shove that in there like that. Look at that. How pretty that looks, though. A big cover. Might as well
Very
use the
Martha
bag.
Stewart of you.
Well, I have that gene. There we go.
Does that mean I have that gene?
Yeah, you have half of that gene. There we go. There. How's that?
It's really pretty.
Isn't that pretty? And then, all right, to me, there is nothing prettier than, look at this mint. Fresh. Smell that. I mean, it just makes you think of iced tea in summer, and even though it's spring, it puts you in the mood. There you go.
Well, you got to
stick it in
take
the
that
pot.
out of the dirt, Mom.
Stick it in the pot. Well,
No,
do
we're
we have
taking
to-
that out.
Okay, but you can
But
smash the pot.
Yeah, but really, we have to do some actual gardening here.
Okay, here's some more of this.
You just take it out of here. Should I put my gardening gloves on?
Yes. Do we have dirt?
Yeah.
And here, while we're waiting for the dirt, look at this one.
Oh, that's my favorite color too.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah. Here, I'll get the
And
potting
look
soil.
at this light. It fits perfectly. There you go.
Okay, I'm coming over.
Okay. Do we have dirt?
Jeez Louise.
Okay.
Okay,
Whoa,
okay.
that's good. Whoa. We'll take some of this out. Make more
Now,
room
you
to
know about
spread.
mint, you have to always plant it alone because it'll just take over whatever
Yeah.
pot. But usually I put it in a bigger pot because it'll grow really fast and
Yeah.
it'll spread.
Right in there. And we have one more.
No,
if
that's a
we
high
have-
five.
Oh.
Thanks for coming to visit so often.
Well, I was missing Holly and you, but my Holly.
You're Holly.
So beautiful.
Is it hard to believe that you're a grandmother and that I'm a mother?
You know, it's amazing how quickly time passes. Yes, it is. I feel like you were just that little baby. You look so much like her when you were born. You were the happiest baby, and she is too.
She is a happy
And
baby.
here you are. You're such a wonderful mother.
Oh, thank you, Mom. I learned it from you. I did.
Make me cry.
No, I did. I learned it from you because you taught me, you know, what it was like to have a mom who worked, and that was a great example for me to know that you had this life and this career, and I looked up to you. And now that I'm starting to get back to work, you know, it's hard to get back to work after having a baby, and it's hard to be away from her. But I have this, you know, memory of you working and that seeming like such a positive thing to me and such a positive role model. So I'm hopeful that I can be that for Holly.
Well, I'm sure you will be, because I think the happiest mothers are fulfilled mothers.
Yeah.
And you want to be able to do what you want in your life. And sometimes it's hard to do it all, but it's a good goal to have, because I think, you know, it can be possible.
Yeah.
Some things have to go. I was not the best cook lady, but that's why you are. Is being a mom what you thought it was going to be?
I don't know. You know, I was so focused on, like, you know, is she going to be healthy and happy and just like being pregnant, and I was just so focused on her arrival that honestly I know it sounds silly, but I didn't think that much about the actual being a parent part. Maybe because you can't really wrap your head around it until you've done it, but it's pretty amazing. And now she's at the stage where she's smiling more and she's interacting more and she's taking everything in, and I finally feels like she knows I'm her mom. Whereas for a while it kind of felt like, you know, she wasn't really aware of what was happening, and now, you know, if I leave the room, she's kind of like looking for me, and it's
And when you come in, she's focused on you. She
Yeah.
wants you. And
that's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of nice after carrying her around
Yeah.
in my belly for 9 months, to have that connection and just to see it grow and just see like every day she does new little things, and you know, we're just like trying to get her to roll over and we're like teaching her these little things, and it feels rewarding in this way that I don't think I could have fully understood before being a mom. But it's also hard. It's hard to get anything done.
It's a 24-hour
Yeah.
a day job. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
Before you have children, it's all about you.
Yeah.
You really have freedom in a way you don't know you have, and then all of a sudden, you come in second, and
Yeah.
that's an adjustment. And I think
I
you're
know.
making the adjustment well. Because
I'm always like, what's Holly wearing today? And I just like put on the same sweatpants that I wore yesterday.
it's definitely humbling. I don't know what to do with these, but
Well, we don't have to do it all now. You
Yeah.
want to have a little, you know, take a little break, have some pie.
now we're talking.
Okay, there's one more step before we can have our pie. We're gonna make some whipped cream.
Great.
You're gonna make some whipped cream.
By hand?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So a cup of heavy cream. I'm gonna show you how easy it is. All right, and then get your wrist warmed up. 1 tablespoon sugar. And we're gonna do half a teaspoon vanilla, just for a little vanilla flavor. Let it rip. That's good. Good job. Probably take like 10 minutes.
10 minutes of this. Here's a tip. You can buy this in a can, ready to go. And you just spray it. You make little designs. It's real whipped cream. It says it right on there. Something's happening.
Yeah, see, it's getting, that wasn't even 10, that was about 2 minutes.
Want to take a break? You want to do it?
You want me to take, you want to take a break? Yeah.
Look at that. Oh, talk about some elbow grease.
So,
Getting tired, huh?
yeah, getting tired. I'm gonna go a little bit further. Okay, I think that looks good. Not
Looks
like
good.
soft peaks, not too firm, but
Okay.
you wanna try it?
Sure. Tastes like it came out of the can.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you so much. Thank
No,
you.
it's delicious.
I'm gonna get the pie.
Nice and a little bit sweet, which is nice. Boy,
Here's
does that
our
look
pie.
good. That looks beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm gonna carefully take off this plastic wrap.
Yeah. Does make a difference.
Yeah, and we're gonna cover this with whipped cream, so it's fine that it looks, you know, a little bit bumpy there. You're just gonna make a mound of cream in the middle
Okay.
and leave some of the pudding exposed, because I think that little bit of chocolate will look nice.
Okay. Just
And here.
put the whole thing here?
Yeah.
Oh, what's good? Well, all of it?
Yeah. Good. Perfect.
Okay. Here,
Right.
we'll sort of.
Yeah.
How's that?
Looks
Looks
good.
good.
Beautiful. Yeah, nice job. I think it would be nice to put some sliced bananas on top. All the bananas are hidden, so I think this is a nice way to...
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm just gonna basically cut them right onto the center.
Oh, I thought you were going to just slice it and make a big, you know.
No, I was just gonna make like a pile.
Oh, that's pretty.
I feel like that looks kind of
pretty.
more...
You're such a
casual.
lefty. Look at that.
I am a lefty. How's that?
Looks great.
Pretty.
Yep, very pretty.
Okay,
Okay, now what?
let's cut it and eat it.
Okay, good idea.
I think I'm gonna do a big slice. I think that's gonna
Good idea.
come out cleaner. I feel like the first slice of pie is always a little bit like the first pancake, you know, when you pull it out. It's
Yeah, little dicey.
a little dicey. Okay, everybody look away. Hold your breath. Oh my gosh. Oh my
that's
gosh.
good.
Oh my gosh.
Looks perfect. Look at that. Whoa.
It's pretty good. The cream's, you know, falling over the side a little bit. That looks pretty good, huh?
Beautiful. Beautiful. We have forks. It's really coming out nicely. Mm-hmm. You can tell it's not Jell-O pudding.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Good thing. Okay.
Okay, this is the
Bon
moment.
appetit.
If you like it, if you like the Jell-O pudding version more, don't tell me, okay?
I won't. I won't.
I don't think I can handle that.
I won't. best combination ever. Chocolate and bananas, you know?
It's really good.
Super good. This chocolate is really good.
It's chocolatey, right? The pudding?
Super chocolatey. Really good, but not bitter.
I think the key is using good quality chocolate because you can really taste it. Well, thank you for visiting, Mom, and coming onto my little show here.
Thank you, Lighty.
You're my first guest.
It was really
Yeah.
what an honor.
Look who it is! Baby! Special final surprise for the show today. It's Miss Holly. What do you think? My little sunshine. I can't wait till you're old enough to eat pie.
I bet you can either.
Whee! I love you. Happy Mother's Day. However you're celebrating, whoever you're celebrating with, I hope you enjoy something delicious. Right, Holly? We'll see you next time.
Yay!
Happy Hobby Day. It's always a happy day. It's your camera.